Well, I'd like to start with the basic question. So, what happened to your foot?
Well, amongst being out on the streets and stuff and having my hiking backpack on,
Oh, if you
one
should
night
yeah, you can take it off.
I
Yeah, sorry.
accidentally sprained my ankle, and I went to the hospital, was given a splint, and was trying to, just being told to ice it, keep it propped up, and stay off of it. But it's kind of hard when you're on the streets.
Yeah.
So, long story short, within a 2 or 3 week period, I re-rolled it and sprained it again while having a hiking backpack on, and it ended up causing a blockage of the blood flow to my talar dome and caused osteonecrosis. So they had to do reparative surgery. And it's kind of been a blessing that this COVID things came along, because the city has contracted with the Coalition for the Homeless out these hotels around town.
Okay.
The health condition got me qualified for being a high risk, and so they put me up at the hotel. Well, they wouldn't have did the surgery if I wouldn't have been in the hotel, because I would be on the streets. So I'd still be on the streets right now with a messed up ankle that wouldn't be able to get surgery until I had a place to live.
Right.
So
Well, I
that's
guess
kind
it's
of
a
like been the whole
blessing
blessing in disguise, with
Yeah.
the COVID for now.
Well,
But
thank God. Yeah.
yeah, I've been homeless out here since August 2018. I came out here from Kansas in 2016. Some friends of mine opened up some glass shops around town and invited me out to come out and visit. At the time, being on disability and living in Kansas, I was wanting to do something else with my life and be outside of Kansas and potentially start working part-time and making some money again. And really, Denver at the time was number one in the nation, with the economy, next door to Kansas. So I came out here on my own, no family, 35 years old. I got a job. I was staying with some friends, got a job at Dollar Tree. Ran into a situation of where I ran into corporate greed, getting over on the worker, because I didn't have my things in place with having a third party to advocate with me not working over to get my Social Security cut off. So I returned to work 1 month post-op neck surgery, and they overworked me a couple weeks, put me a pay raise on top of it, got me cut off Social Security disability. And so basically at the end of the month, I was forced to just leave where I was staying and go to the streets. I had no place to go. I didn't have no more money to pay rent. I had one disability check left.
That sounds like a clerical error.
Well, I'm not here blaming the problem on anyone else. It's my own problem. But this is kind of my situational thing. Growing up, I'd always thought, I'd never be homeless. I don't see how somebody could be in that position, or get themselves into that position. And then here I come out here trying to seek the opportunities that I was wanting to seek. And it was just one little thing, one little error, went wrong. And I was in a position where I'm out here with no family and on the streets. But it's been a great experience. It's made me become very humble. I have a lot of resilience now, patience. But it's pretty rough out here. People I don't like to use the word homeless. I like to use the word state of homelessness, if you will. I think the word homelessness carries a negative connotation. Society likes to bring in all the negative elements of drugs or whatever else that might be negative, or have a negative connotation or related. And so you've got this societal stigma viewpoint of a homeless person as somebody that's worthless or a piece of crap that don't want to do anything or get a job. There's plenty of us out here that would love to work or want to work, and might not even have the resources or whatever to do so. Me, at one point, I was working 2 part-time jobs. I was working at Coors Stadium and the Broncos Mile High for events. And at the end of the day, I was like leading a double life, because at the end of the night, it's like I had no place to go. Everybody else is talking about going home, but I knew that when I got off, I would be back on the streets until the next morning. But I pulled off working 2 jobs being homeless, and it's very rough. The shelters here, there's plenty of times I've resorted to sleeping on a bench on Alameda and Broadway, because it was a lot safer than sleeping in a bug-infested building where you're sleeping elbow to elbow, 2-inch mat, with people and who knows what else in there. I do have other underlying health conditions that those types of environments are not common suture with a person with a suppressed immune system. So it's been quite rough. I just think that there's like a lot of lack of governmental help with the situation. It seems like the can's just constantly kicked down the road. Um, and it seems to me like people have lost compassion on these streets. Humanity has lost compassion. And I don't think until we get that compassion back will society really start to focus on us individuals and realize it, or until they're in our position. And that's, they go a night without wondering what they're going to eat or if they have a meal. They go a night without having a place to lay their head, or they go a whole day without $1 in their pocket and see how far they get. Then I think they would maybe have a better understanding. But even then, you know, you've got people like the Coalition for the Homeless Salvation Army that's helping out now, but you get a lot of people in there that are kids that are going through school. They're still going through school to get their social working degree. And yes, they're book smart, but that don't translate to being on the streets, if that makes sense. It's like it's not that I don't think that they want to help us and they're there for us. It's just they don't know how to exactly grasp a hold of how to handle that or help.
Different world.
So
That's what I'm learning.
yeah, very much so.
So where would you like to be 10 years from now? So you first gotta get your foot fixed, right?
Right.
Do you have like your ID and all that?
Yes. I got my ID.
Yeah.
I got everything. 10 years. You know, I haven't honestly thought out that far.
Okay.
I mean, being on the streets, it's like I can't ever really think too much more than 24 hours. Like it's kind of like you learn back at drug treatment growing up. You know, it's like you can't worry about more than 24 hours because if you do, life will get the best of you, or you'll let life get the best of you. Yeah. So I hope to be alive and walking around and smiling and be vertical. That's it. So
Do you think you could die in the next 10 years?
very well possible. I mean, out here on these streets, you don't ever know. I mean, you got maybe a handful of people that you can trust or that you know kind of have each other's backs or watch out for each other. But other than that, I mean, with the populace here, you don't know. You never know if the next person, even being homeless, is going to be a friendly person or not, or what they've went through. You know, so it's kind of like a very volatile situation to be in because it kind of leaves a person up on edge constantly.
That's two things I've picked up. Is one, constantly being on the edge, and kind of like our friend Martin behind you, just constantly needing a place to rest.
Yes.
Like that's something that it just never even occurred to me.
Yes.
So how active are you like among like homeless rights, I guess, or state of homelessness rights?
I would like to get highly involved with that. I do have
Okay,
an
so
individual I was working with at Bayodge. She's a activist that's kind of helped with legislation. She helped get legislation passed for the $20 application fees for apartments or stuff if you're trying to apply for housing. Because she ran into a situation where at one point the apartment complex was trying to charge her $250 application fee. And so it's just the little things like that, though, that I think that if we just take small steps and kind of work together and kind of implement things, I think the society's view would kind of start to change a little bit. But like I said, until they get their compassion back, it sucks.
Well, I mean, the fact that you're saying that you had all these part-time jobs selling beer, like carrying these enormous things, and people love the beer vendor, and I think this could show that it shouldn't be invisible. It's hard to. And what you said really breaks my heart. At the end of the game, everyone's going home, and you're left there.
Yeah, it's left me crushed several nights. It's just kind of like people are like, "What are you gonna go do?" It's like, just go back home. It's like you don't really have a home, but
right. So what do you do the rest of today? So after this interview, which we'll wrap up for
leave here. I'll go to.
You're just gonna enjoy the day, or
go
what?
to physical therapy for my foot.
Okay.
Get through with that. I'll go down to Verizon and try to get something figured out with my bill, and then back to the hotel room. I've been doing a lot of acrylic pour painting. I've gotten into that since I've been over here at the hotel. So I've poured about 10 or 20 different paintings now, just working with different techniques and stuff like that.
The hotel room, which hotel is it?
The Aloft over here.
Oh, Aloft. Mm-hmm. Okay, so how big is your room? Like 200 square feet or something? Or
roughly.
And is that enough for you, or like I'm just kind of thinking about like living arrangements.
My mom's had a studio apartment back home that was the size of, the motel room. So Yeah, after a while, it kind of feels like the walls are closing in, but I got to think on the opposite side of at least have a place to go. So
Okay.
it's kind of like not biting the hand that feeds you and being thankful and grateful for what you do have.
Otherwise, for us, that's $300 a night when the
Yes.
economy's good, right? I mean, I don't know.
I was
what you
looking
guys
at
are
that
thinking,
today
but
because I was like, I wonder how much they charge here.
$299? What was it?
Yes, it was $200-something, $220
yeah,
a night.
yeah.
Yeah. So.
Isn't that a crazy world?
Yes.
What is that like then? Because I don't know if there are people also at the West End, but that kind of blows my mind actually. These hotel vouchers and
Yeah.
I don't know, like these are 4-star hotels, and then all of a sudden like you're.
Well, that's the crazy thing
on the
too
streets
is
the
now
next
you
day?
got
Yeah.
human services because of the COVID thing. Human services' job is to make sure the common good and well-being of the safety of the citizens, which now you've got the homeless population that's included. And now
Right.
they've got them in the hotels. Well, these hotels need to open back up for business and make money eventually. So I think I'm in the right spot for the time being to be able to be in a key position to be able to get housing if there is any when it does become available. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just having to bite my tongue every day and be thankful for what I got and don't worry about stuff I don't have or too far into the future because that's when I get really depressed.
Well, we don't want that,
So,
man. You gotta stay positive.
Yeah, no, I try to as much as possible. People try to tell me to keep my smile.
Yeah.
So-
No, it's a good smile.
Thanks.
Adam, do you have any questions?
Well, actually, yeah, you were talking about your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm like listening to the old stream. You were talking to your mom, or talking about your mom having a studio. How come you're not there anymore? What happened there?
I left, like I said, Kansas at 35. I was staying with another friend, renting a room from him at the time. I would love to be back with my mom right now. I just got off the phone with her. I was back home with her last year from September to December, helping her with chemotherapy and radiation treatments. She had a second round of lung cancer come back, recurrent, and they had to send her through treatment. So I was back home helping take care of her being her DPOA. And it was kind of upsetting because there was a lot of friction between me and my mom, whether or not it was just me being the DPOA and caretaker or her being under the chemo and the radiation and really not in her right mind. It caused a lot of friction between us. But me and my mom have discovered years ago that we just cannot live in the same quarters. We can live around each other, but we can't live together. It's never worked. We just both have to have our own space.
Let me ask this last question, because you seem like a very thoughtful and hardworking guy. You've had a lot of health issues. What do you feel like our system, our government's doing right for people like you, and where do you feel like it's letting you down?
Whoa, where they're doing right.
I was hoping
Well-
that wouldn't be such a stumper.
Right. Well, I think you're doing the right thing by trying to do things like set up camp zones for people to have their tents around town, so they don't have those tent cities or people aren't being taken to jail for trespassing or stuff like that. The small things like that is those things those help alleviate some of the headache, but I just don't think that people in a position of power with that type of money really care. I don't. As far as they're concerned, we're in their way. So, and I, now that I have been out on the streets, it's kind of disgusting, like how you can be treated by people. And on the flip side of things, I've been down at Civic Center Park and not accepted by the populace because I was a cop. I was too clean to be in their hood, So I've also kind of faced that being on the streets too, the fact of I'm too clean cut to be homeless, I'm a cop. And so I've got to deal with that on the streets too. And so that's kind of like something else. It's just, it doesn't bother me, but it's just, a whole other element to that situation. So, but yeah.